Stuart, can you talk about mudras?
Well, what?
Mudras?
Mudras? Um, yeah, you know, not a very complicated subject, but a difficult one to do. Mudras are literally hand positions that automatically take place as one grows spiritually. The hands are very powerful instruments. They're healing instruments. They transmit a great deal of Shakti. And as one grows spiritually, you can see it. Statues of the Buddha. Uh, Even with Christ, you see his hand position. They're all what one would call mudras. And those mudras, they open up different energy fields in the cosmos. And that energy comes down and nurtures not only the person having the mudra, but the people around them, students, disciples. And it's a very powerful form of meditation practice. It's what I use in these retreats, that working with the hands, working with mudras to transmit Shakti, to help people to grow, to draw down the higher forces of energy that can work in meditation classes. Uh, what else is there to say? I mean, it's just really strong stuff. It's not something you can diagram on a blackboard and then somebody will do it. It doesn't work that way. It's like most stuff in meditation, you organically grow into it. You develop the system inside that allows your chemistry to grow into those kind of things, mudra, healing, et cetera, et cetera. So if you can't imitate it, it's going to work. You know, it happens because your system has evolved and grown to the point where it can happen. Does anyone else? I mean, you see, I have a little Buddha sitting there, and the earth touching mudra, the fearlessness. It's all different aspects of consciousness that a person evolves into them as their chakra system develops. Does anyone else have a question?
Hi, Stuart. It's Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
Hi. In order to have the highest level of unconditional love, does one need to have complete detachment?
Sarah, you'll never have complete detachment. There's always going to be something, and to attain the highest state of unconditional love that a human being can reach, your heart has to open. And you have to sustain the openness in the heart, and allow that openness to be able to not only transform your inner life, but to touch the people through compassion that you're involved with, that are in your life. And there's always going to be something wrong with everybody, always. And and we need to have things wrong with us because they make us work on ourselves. At the same time, we arrive at a place where we can literally, by focusing below the navel, by feeling, we can open the heart. And once we can get the heart open and sustain that openness, we begin to experience what's called unconditional love, compassion, which doesn't mean that other things aren't going to test us. They're going to test us. But if you can keep your heart open, you can keep your mind below the navel, you keep your mind quiet, you can detach yourself from all the nonsense that goes on in the world. You have the strength to do it. And of course, we all are just human beings. We forget, and we slowly, slide into those. And then they're there to remind us, hey, stupid, go back inside, get centered. You'd rather be living with unconditional love than living with me, you know?
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Hi, Stuart. It's Irene. I have a question.
Yes, Irene.
So I was wondering how to utilize the practice to deal with constant rejection. I'm on a job hunt, and also maybe how can I use the practice? Maybe I'm pursuing the wrong things. I was just wondering about that.
Well, Irene, if you build the kind of inner life that I talk about, you'll never be rejected. Even if people say no and they reject you, the security is so profound and deep inside rejection, in quotes, is a reminder to you, Irene, that you need to develop a much stronger inner life. And as that inner life develops, you're going to get rejected less. People go, yeah, I want you to work for me. So I think that really is what it's about. It's not about, being wanted by other people and they say, no, no, no. It's about, hey, I have to get more secure in myself. I need to get more connected spiritually. I need to build my inner life. And then it doesn't matter what people say about you. Who gives a damn what people say about you? Imagine the crap that's been said about me in my life. I shouldn't even be here with all the nonsense. I've heard people talk, and eventually it just bounces off you. You're connected with God. You're connected with spirit. Your heart is open. You forgive the idiots that reject you. You're not even an idiot. You forgive the people for whatever reason they reject you. And you move on in your life. And if you get upset about it, you say to yourself, I need to grow. Don't blame it on them. I need to grow. I need to develop a deeper and stronger inner life. It's not their fault. And never to allow people, whatever their prejudices are and their discriminations are, to get into you. Your own self-worth is more important than anything that anyone says about you or rejects you. And if you develop that, you'll never be rejected. You'll be rejected. People can say no, but you'll never feel rejected.
Thank you.
No, it's not only for you, Irene. There's only one you. And if you do you the best you can possibly do you'll never feel rejected in life. Might not fit in somebody else's life, but it's not going to give you a feeling of rejection. And then eventually somebody will see the unique you and say, yes. Does anyone else have a question? First person, you have to learn to like and love. is yourself. After that, it's easy to like and love other people, even if they say no and they're assholes and they reject you, and it doesn't matter. First, you got to learn to like and love yourself. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart,
Yes.
how to be happy when there is so much pain all around? I sometimes feel I'm not allowed somehow. This is too.
Look, Walter, you can fix you by doing deep inner work. You can't fix the world. Each person has to learn to fix themselves. And if you fix you, then, you have compassion for the pain in other people. You have compassion for the difficulties that people are going through in their life. At the same time, you have built a system inside that really fixes you. You are connected with God. You are secure in your life. It's the same answer I gave to Irene. And yes, there's a lot of pain. You think I don't see a lot of pain in the world? That's why I do this. I know what I do could help a lot of people. I don't see thousands of people turning up here. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to get distraught about that. My job is to build my own connection with God and to do it, as I've discovered a way that it's possible to do it. And certainly to help people who really want to help themselves and work on themselves. But I'm not going to get involved with all the pain that goes on in the world. It's too much. I once had a conversation with God. I really did. Sat down, I said one day, that's your problem. You created this place. I can fix me and help me get connected with spirit and God and help anyone who wants to come and learn what I do. I can do that. I cannot fix the world. And I also have learned that you can't help people that don't want to help themselves. Can't do it. People have to finally come up against whatever, usually it's trauma that brings people to a place where they want to do something about themselves. And once a person gets that in them, you can really help them because then they're willing to do what's necessary. There's reincarnation, thousands of lifetimes that the universe gives people to get it together. So the first person you got to fix is yourself. Strong enough to be connected to God, committed enough to attain enlightenment in this lifetime, willing to do whatever is necessary to get it. Even in the Jewish religion, they have a saying, if you save one human being's life in your lifetime, the gates of paradise will open for you. That life, what is that life? That life is one's own life. First. And after you do that, then you can possibly help other people. If they want to be helped. Does anyone else have a question? And it doesn't mean you don't have compassion for people. You know, there's a lot of suffering in this world. It's replete with suffering in this world. In fact, I don't think you'll ever meet a human being in your life who doesn't suffer in one way or another. Have compassion. You know, make them laugh a little bit, you know. But saving a person, that's a whole other job. Then you need a commitment on the part of another human being. I am willing to do what's necessary. Does anyone else have a question? And just be kind to people and treat them like human beings. And hopefully it might lead to them deciding one day, I got to do something about myself. I got to work on myself. It doesn't have to be what I teach. It could be, I don't know, any kind of teaching that helps a person work on themselves. Anyone else have a question you'd like to? Okay, there'll be meditation on Thursday. As I've been announcing the last week, on Friday I have to have an operation, procedure to fix this hemorrhoid that I somehow have gotten. And I don't know what the class schedule will be. There will be classes afterward, but I have to see what my situation is before I schedule classes. There will be a class Thursday, and it might take a week, it might take 5 days for me to get back into shape to teach. So about what's going on. God bless you all, and thank you for being in my life and for being part of these classes. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Stuart.
Bye.
Thank you.